Hi, everyone. There are only 2 weeks until Falling Light is released into the world. And that also brings us to countdown video number 4 on this one. So I really hope that you have been enjoying these little sneak peeks into Falling Light. And today's snippet, my excerpt is here to show you a really important moment in the development of the relationship between Samir and Keeler in this novel. I think it also is based on, a fairly major real life thing that a lot of relationships have where there's trouble communicating your emotions and your needs and your wants. And this scene is one of those scenes where they are lacking a lot of communication. Both are really wondering what the other person really wants or needs out of this. Anyways, here we go. I Samir let the single word trail off with a sigh. Keeler waited to see if he would say anything else, but that single word seemed to be all he was getting in response. There was so much confusion there, and a hint of anger submerged within it. He wanted to reach out, to touch Samir and assure him that everything was going to be okay, that he was here if needed in a way that words can never fully communicate, but he wasn't sure it would be welcome. His hand twitched, but stayed where it was, and he looked away from Samir, tightened his senses until there was nothing but his own thoughts for company. Contemplated escape, an excuse to give Samir the space he seemed to want, but it was too early to feign tiredness, and he had no idea what else to do. I'm sorry, I am not good company. Samir apologized again. It's fine. Keeler took the verbal interaction as a sign that perhaps Samir didn't want him to leave. He took a chance, hoping to find a clue as to what was wanted of him in Samir's emotions. He wasn't good with people. He didn't spend enough time around them, but beyond that near perpetual confusion, there were currents of loneliness and longing. He wished he knew why and for what. Do you want me to leave? Samir didn't even raise his head at that question. Silence stretched to the point that Keeler assumed that this was his answer. He stood to leave, not bothering to say anything. There was nothing to be said that words could communicate. Had it not been for the slight emotional surge that preceded it, he would have been surprised when Samir reached out and grabbed his hand. He froze, not sure what to do. Still, Samir stayed silent, and though Keeler didn't look, he was sure his face would be bright red. There were no clues as to what was wanted from him, and he didn't want to overstep any boundaries. Not again. A slight tug prompted him to look down, but Samir still hadn't lifted his head. Oh, okay. Keeler didn't know how else to respond, but sat down beside him and continued to hold his hand. And of course, the reason the scene is happening and what comes after, obviously you're going to have to read to find out exactly what brings our characters to this situation. As always, I hope you've enjoyed this, and these excerpts are still being read in absolutely no particular order, and I am doing my best to avoid those spoilers, so hopefully you won't find any here. If you do have questions, leave them in the comments. I'll get to them, and I will do my best to put them in that release day video where I answer your questions regarding Falling Light, my writing process, and all of that jazz. So like, subscribe, follow, share, all that wonderful stuff, as well as having an absolutely great day.